Good morning, master traders and money magnets. It's your Uncle Charters. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. But we're looking at futures here. Dropped a good amount last week. But this morning in the pre-market, looks like it's trying to go for a relief bounce. Question is, can this relief bounce lead to a back test of the 5 daily moving average? Because as you guys can see, it's pretty far extended from it after rejecting from it last Friday. So the resistant level that I have right now is at 63.04 and 63.10. 63.04 and 63.10. If the bulls are going to give us more of a relief bounce and try to go and back test that moving average, it's going to need to clear those two levels, 63.04, 63.10. That will put 63.14, 63.15.5, 63.20, and 63.21.2 in play to the upside. That is a fib level, 63.21.2. And if it can clear, I would definitely favor us popping up to 64.43 and even back testing the 5 daily moving average. It would be a nice relief bounce. But if it's more than a relief bounce, I need to see the 5 daily moving average recapture, and then we can talk about if a bottom is already in. Gotta be careful here, because around the same area from mid-July, that's where futures dropped towards last week, and it's trying to bounce right around that 62.41 area. So there's a potential that this could be a cup and it's working on a handle that can put in a lower high. So that 5 daily moving average must hold on any bounce to keep it bearish. Now, if we aren't going to go for a bounce, I do have support all the way down at 62.92. So if it doesn't clear 63.04 or 63.10, I have support at 6300 and a fib level at 62.92. So if we're going to trust a rejection from resistance, I need to see 6300 and 62.92 fail. That would put 62.80, 62.65. I have a buy zone around 62.50 and another fib level, the strong fib level around 62.41. That's also where that strong buy zone is for the potential double bottom. So watch those levels and be ready to react unbiasedly to the price action. Here is the Nasdaq also attempting a relief bounce very far away from the 5 daily moving average. You guys can see the tendencies of the price is that it usually doesn't go too far from that moving average, and when it does, eventually it does come back to try to test it as either a support or a resistance. In this context, if it does bounce, bears want to see it test as resistant and actually reject. But if it does bounce, 23.074 is resistant with 23.140 above. If those two levels can clear today, then a retest of that 5 daily moving average would be possible, which is around 23.248. Now it could change, so make sure you have it turned on your chart. And if it's more than a relief bounce, of course that moving average must recapture to put 23.314, 23.370 or higher back in play. Now it did test at 23.074 resistant this morning. I would only recommend trusting a rejection from there if support can fail, which is 23.029. I have one at 22.983 and a support at 22.925. So if those levels fail, I would feel more comfortable being bearish, or at least favoring more downside and not favoring a relief bounce. And last but certainly not least, here is the gold. Now, while futures and Nasdaq is looking bearish, gold is looking kind of bullish here. It recently recaptured. Last Friday, it recaptured my uptrend line. That is a false breakdown setup. We look a little closer here. It looks like it is respecting that trend line as a support this morning. So the next resistant level that I have is at 33.73. Actually, 33.75. I'm going to round it up to 33.75. For me to trust this recapture and favor more upside, 33.75 must clear next, and that should get us back above 3400 plus. I wouldn't be surprised if we go hit a previous high around 34-38 area, but it will need to stay above this trend line, which is the support levels around 33.50. So staying above 33.50 is a good sign for the bulls. Clearing 33.75 would be bullish follow through. If we are to get bearish and favor this being a dead cat bounce or whatever you want to call it, 33.50 must fail as support to get us back below that moving average, and we could go and retest the 5 daily moving average and get us back below that trend line, and we could go test the 5 daily moving average, which is around 33.24 as of recording this. So if that moving average fails, we know that this was just a relief bounce and we are heading a lot lower, but it will start with the breakdown of 33.50. And that's what I have for you guys this morning. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. This means a lot. Good luck this week. Good luck today. Peace.